Hey YouTube, this is Matt with Black Label Garage, and today we're starting on the project. Stay tuned.
What we have is a beautiful 1972 F100. It is a long bed truck. It has been an Arizona truck its entire life, so it's got nothing really, just surface rust. So it's in great condition. I haven't found any real holes. The interior is perfect. It's got this old 80s interior weave system on it that we'll get rid of, but other than that, the dash is clean, everything works. Under the hood, it's got an inline 6-liter engine, made it to a 4-speed manual transmission. The engine was rebuilt just a couple of years ago, so I plan on just pulling it and then selling it. It's definitely a good running engine, and someone could most likely use this system. It would be perfect.
So what we got to do to get started is I got to remove the front clip. That would be all the front fenders, the driver's side, obviously the front grille, and then all the way around to the passenger side. It's fairly simple. You just got to remove the bolts that lead along the side here, all the way up and down. And I believe there are 3 more on the side on the inner fender and some that come through the cab. So that should be fairly simple. First I'll start by getting the hood off, and then after I get that hood off, then all those fenders come off. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to carry it by myself, but we'll definitely try. Definitely an awkward piece. What I think I'm gonna have to do is probably get it in the engine cherry picker, see if I can hold the other side of it while I pick up the other side and see if I can kind of maneuver it around. Next we're going to work on the inner fenders, or the outer fenders, excuse me. I'm going to take all these bolts off. It looks like there's 5 on this side and then 5 or 6 on the front. And it'll be the same all the way around. And then like I said, there's probably some on the inner fender. We'll get it moved out though. Okay, so the next bolts are in the fender well. They come from the inside. They hold the front end on, and then obviously connect into the cab itself. So I think there's like 3 or 4, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure. We'll find out. There's only about 2 bolts, at least is what I found on this truck so far. There's one on the inner door, and I'll show you where that sucker is. So you have the first one, and then the second hole. I don't know if you guys can see it in there. There's a screw, not a screw, a bolt. It's a 1/2-inch bolt, just like all the other top bolts. And then down here, there's another one. Now that one is a 9/16. For whatever reason, they decided to change it up on the size down there. Now that one's going to be ultra rusty just because it's, you know, used to all the elements. So WD-40 it and just make sure that you don't break it. I mean, obviously you can get a new bolt, but that mount down there is just a bent piece of metal. It's really finicky. You could snap that off too, so be careful. Okay, guys, so I was able to get all the front clip off all as one piece. As you can see here, comes off all as one nice piece. It's definitely not going to stay there because I don't want it to rot to hell. Which leaves back all the core supports. These are the inner fenders, which come off with a couple more bolts, and then obviously the main radiator mount. And then we'll have nothing but the engine bay open with the engine sitting here, which will be great. It'll be perfect. That'll give you plenty of room to go ahead and get everything pulled out. Look at all the bolts that it took to get this thing on there. These are all the fender bolts. That's just the hood bolts. I mean, that's crazy. Don't forget to make a bag and bag everything. That way you have it organized, you know where it's at, and you can take care of it in the future. So I'm gonna get the rest of this off and then we'll be good for today. Alright, so I guess the camera decided it was done recording for today and just shut off about just a few minutes after I started about the inner fenders. They're off though. I got them both off. They're over here on the side with the front clip. I'm draining the radiator so I can move the radiator mount, or whatever that's called. And then it'll just give me a free breeze for the engine. I'll tackle the engine next week. But yeah, go ahead and finish this up real quick and then call it good. Man, I got dirt all over my face. It's hot out here. I'm in Arizona, so holy shit. But we got everything off. I got the entire front clip off, which is awesome. It gives me plenty of room to go ahead and start working on the engine, which is exactly what we're going to do next week. Next week, we're going to start pulling this engine out with the transmission. And that'll make room to go ahead and get rid of this old I-beam suspension. And put that beauty in there. I have an 04, 05 Crown Vic. Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next week. Hope you enjoyed.